Breaking news from around your world on this Friday, August 9th, 2019. I'm Larry Rice. President Donald Trump said Friday he believes he has influence to rally Republicans around stronger federal background check laws as Congress and the White House work on a response to last weekend's mass shootings in Texas and Ohio. At the same time, Trump said he has assured the National Rifle Association that its gun rights views would be fully represented and respected. Trump said he was hopeful the NRA would not be an obstacle to strengthening the nation's gun laws. He said Friday he is now looking for very meaningful background checks, but is not considering a resurrection of an assault weapons ban. He said he also believes lawmakers will support red flag laws that allow guns to be removed from those who may be a danger to themselves and others. Democrats and others have been skeptical of Trump's commitment to genuine gun control, judging from past experience. But Trump said he was behind it. On Thursday, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said he now wants background checks and other action, setting up a potentially pivotal moment when lawmakers return in the fall. Torrential monsoon rains in the southern Indian state of Kerala caused a major landslide and flooding that has cut off some areas, forcing the evacuation of more than 22,000 people from the area Friday. Flooding also forced authorities to halt all operations from the Cochin International Airport, the busiest airport in Kerala. Officials said the airport, located along the banks of the Periyar River, would be shut until at least midday Sunday. Indian media reported that at least 2 people were killed in the landslide and at least 70 houses were destroyed and that dozens more were still feared trapped. There were also reports that at least 20 people were killed due to the rains in Kerala in the past 2 days. The area was hit by devastating floods last August that killed more than 200 people and affected more than 5 million. Those floods, dubbed the worst to hit that state in nearly a century, caused billions of dollars of damage to fields, homes, and other infrastructure. According to officials, at least 35 people were killed in 3 states this week due to the rains, and more than 200,000 people have been evacuated from the regions. Hundreds of villages and a few towns in the affected areas do not have electricity and drinking water, according to state government officials, and authorities are trying to restore electricity in some areas. Meanwhile, China's Weather Bureau issued a red alert Friday as Super Typhoon Likima approached Zhejiang province on the eastern coast after forcing flight cancellations in Taiwan and shutting markets and businesses on the island. The National Meteorological Center said the typhoon, the strongest since 2014, was expected to hit the Chinese mainland early on Saturday and then turn north. It's issued gale warnings for the Yangtze River Delta region, which includes Shanghai. More than 300 flights have been canceled, and cruise liners have been asked to delay their arrival in Shanghai. Some trains from Shanghai have also suspended ticket sales over the weekend, and Beijing also said it would cancel several trains heading to and from typhoon-hit eastern regions in the Yangtze Delta region. Heavy rain and level 10 gales are expected to hit Shanghai on Friday and continue until Sunday, with 16,000 suburban residents set to be evacuated from the region. China's Weather Bureau warned that 24-hour rainfall levels across eastern China could reach around 250 to 320 millimeters from Friday afternoon to Saturday afternoon. The U.S. government has issued a new warning about possible navigating concerns to the commercial shipping industry due to a recent spate of attacks in the Persian Gulf and Strait of Hormuz. The Transportation Department's Maritime Administration issued the advisory warning of potential Iranian interference and trouble reported with some tankers' GPS navigation. The advisory said the Iranian threats apply to commercial vessels in the Persian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, and Gulf of Oman. The warning notes Iran could hinder navigation by interfering with GPS or using other communications jamming with little or no warning. 6 attacks against tankers in the region and a shoot-down of a U.S. Navy drone in recent weeks have increased tensions between the United States and Iran. In 2 of the incidents, the vessels reportedly had trouble with their GPS system. The Maritime Administration said vessels have also reported spoofed bridge-to-bridge communications from unknown entities falsely claiming to be U.S. or coalition warships. The U.S. said American commercial vessels should take certain precautions, including a review of security measures and ensuring automatic identification system is transmitting at all times. Former acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe filed a lawsuit Thursday accusing the Justice Department and the FBI of firing him last spring for constitutionally improper motives. McCabe was fired just hours before his retirement date, depriving him of his full pension. A report from the Justice Department's Inspector General accused him of improperly discussing confidential information with a newspaper and misrepresenting himself to federal investigators. The timing of his firing, along with frequent criticism he faced from President Trump over his role in various investigations, has reportedly led McCabe to believe his termination was politically motivated. McCabe's lawsuit seeks his reinstatement as deputy director of the FBI to grant him his entire pension. President Trump announced Thursday evening that he will name Joseph Maguire as acting director of national intelligence effective August 15th. Maguire is director of the National Counterterrorism Center and retired from the Navy in 2010 as a vice admiral. Trump shared the news shortly after he revealed that Sue Gordon, the current deputy director of national intelligence and a career intelligence officer, is stepping down. Trump had wanted to nominate Representative John Ratcliffe, a Republican from Texas, as director of national intelligence, but was faced with opposition from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle who argued Ratcliffe had no relevant experience. The position of Director of National Intelligence was created in the wake of the September 11, 2001 terror attacks as a means of fostering interagency dialogue and cooperation among the 16 agencies that make up the U.S. intelligence gathering network. U.S. and Canadian fighter jets intercepted 2 Russian bombers near the Alaskan coast Thursday. North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, said 2 F-22 and 2 CF-18 fighters intercepted the 2 Russian Tu-95 bombers as they entered the Alaskan and Canadian air defense identification zones. An E-3 Sentry, a C-130 tanker, and a KC-135 air-to-air refueling aircraft assisted. The zones extend about 200 miles off the Alaskan and Canadian coasts. NORAD said at no time did any of the Russian aircraft enter U.S. or Canadian airspace. Russia's state-run news agency, TASS, reported the 2 bombers conducted flights over the Bering Sea on Thursday as part of its Ocean Shield 2019 exercise. The Defense Ministry said it was in compliance with international rules for use of airspace. NORAD said it has intercepted an average of 6 or 7 Russian aircraft in the Alaska zone each year since 2007. The forces intercepted Russian aircraft on 2 back-to-back days in May. Uber posted both its biggest quarterly loss and its slowest ever revenue growth on Thursday. This was the ride-hailing company's first finance report since it went public in May with a dismal IPO, and it's attributing $3.9 billion of the $5.2 billion loss to all the stock-based compensation it had to pay out to employees when it went public. Uber started sharing its financial data in 2017 and posted an overall loss of $878 million in the second quarter of last year. Its adjusted revenue ended up being below analysts' estimates. Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi said he expects 2019 to be a peak investment year and that losses would slow in 2020-2021. But Uber didn't provide forecasts or explanations for staffing cuts it announced this week. The Food and Drug Administration Thursday ordered 4 companies to halt sales of flavored e-cigarettes and hookah tobacco products. The agency said the companies lack the required marketing authorization to sell the 44 products in the United States. The companies include Mighty Vapors, doing business as Ovo Manufacturing and Distribution, Liquid Labs, doing business as Liquido Labs, V8P Juice International, and Hookah Imports. Acting FDA Commissioner Ned Sharpless said the notice to the companies comes amid efforts to restrict marketing of flavored tobacco products to children and teens. E-cigarette companies have come under fire in recent years for marketing their products to minors, including those who don't realize they're using nicotine when they vape. Researchers found that more than half of 15,000 Instagram posts related to Juul, the most popular e-cigarette brand, between March and May of 2018, focused on youth culture or content that would appeal to teens. And that's your update for this Friday, August 9th, 2019. I'm Larry Rice. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.